Yesterday, I took my kids out on this hike, and it was a pretty long hike for an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old. It was 5.5 miles, and even though we went early in the morning, well, early-ish in the morning, we were out there at like 9 o'clock, it was already 92 degrees. And this is a path that is up in Auburn, California, about 25, 30 miles east of Sacramento towards Lake Tahoe in the hills. And it is a great hike that you go up to this place called Lake Clementine and Clementine Falls, which is a man-made dam, and there are 4 waterfalls coming over the dam constantly that all are feeding the American River. And this waterfall, it's super cool to see. It's about 100 feet high, all this concrete and this water just thundering. And I just love seeing it. And this walk out there, again, 5.5 miles round trip, and most of the way to the falls is uphill. Now, my 8-year-old son, he and I are walking together, and he's all excited about it because, well, he's ready to go. Like, he wants to see the falls. My daughter, on the other hand, she's not 100% sure she wants to see these things. I ended up listening to her complain for maybe a half mile of the entire hike, which is really, really, really good, because I told them what this hike was about. I had a pre-frame on this hike, which you only can imagine being one of my children, but I had a pre-frame on this hike, which is we're training for Disneyland. We're going to Disneyland this coming week, and I was talking to them that this is gonna be harder than any walk you do in Disneyland. It's gonna be further at one time than you're gonna do any other time at Disneyland, because you're gonna get to sit down on rides, go to something else, and sit down again. This time, we're fully on our feet for the entire time that we're here. Plus, it's not gonna be on dirt at Disneyland. Plus, it's all gonna be flat. There isn't gonna be uphill. There isn't gonna be downhill. You guys have it all set. So I said this is a training day that's gonna allow us to go on more rides when we get to Disneyland, AKA the actual event. And here's a lesson inside of this. It's how you prepare is how you play. Okay, look at that. How you prepare is how you play. It's a hard lesson to apply because of our natural urge. Your natural urge is to do the thing that's comfortable for you. We want our lives to be easy. Not just you in specific, but you everywhere. Like all of you, we want our lives to be easy. This is including me. The trouble is that only the stuff that nobody wants to get is stuff that's easy to have. Like if you want to be broke, if you want to be fat, and you want to be alone, those are all easy things for you to do. The hard things is the exact opposite of that, which is to be wealthy, to be fit, and in these really deeply connected relationships. That is hard to do. It's especially hard to have all 3 of those things together. People don't recognize that most of the time, people are good at 1, maybe 2 of those, but to put all 3 of those, and if you wrapped in a 4th piece, which is a connection with God or a higher power, however you choose to look at that, it is really, really difficult to pull off, which is why almost nobody has all of that. But when you go and you set to make these changes in your business or in your life, you're starting the process of preparation. Just like that hike for my kids was preparation for the thing that we were going to go do. Whenever you start to make the decision that you're going to have a change or you're going to have a transformation, you're starting that process to prepare for it. There's a couple different ways that I want to encourage you to prepare, because it is the ways that are going to help you actually get there. The first one of these is emotional preparation. You probably don't look at that when you think about what it is you want to go do, like what you want to make better in your life, whether that's to make more money, to be more fit, better relationships, better connection with God, whatever it is. You may not look at the emotional need for you to prepare to get there. But this is exactly why so many people fail to get what they say they want, because they didn't emotionally prepare for how difficult it was going to be. We've been taught, trained, and educated through modern marketing that we can get cool result A without sacrificing thing we really like B. Get 6-pack abs but still eat pizza. Does not happen. So we tell ourselves before we start out that it's going to be easy to get, or that it should be easy to get, because we've seen all these other success stories of what people are doing to achieve the result that we desire to get. We fail to recognize and appreciate the difficulty that getting the really cool result is going to be in reality. Remember, if you want to be fat, broke, and completely alone. That's all easy to do. If you want to be wealthy, fit, and in connected relationships, that's really difficult to do. So it's going to be hard. You're going to face resistance. But here's the thing, pain is mandatory. Suffering, on the other hand, is optional. You're going to feel pain going through everything, but it's your story about how hard it should be or should not be that is going to elicit your feeling of suffering around any given situation. So you've got to emotionally prepare for the road ahead of you and where you want to go, because I promise you it is going to be more difficult than you could possibly imagine right now. And that gets even more the further you're trying to go. If you're just trying to go like 1 or 2 steps down the road, there you're going to face a little bit of resistance. You're trying to go 10 miles down the road, that is going to be an entirely different level of resistance that you've got there. The second preparation that you need to do, or the second piece of preparation, is mental preparation. This is the acquisition of skills. If you could achieve what you're trying to achieve based on the skill set you currently have, you would already have what you are trying to achieve. This is not about execution. This is about having the skill set necessary to win however you want to win. If you're trying to make more money, that is skill sets in marketing and sales and fulfillment and advertising, lead generation, closing more of those leads, keeping more of the profit of every single dollar that you sell. If you're trying to get more fit, that is a better skill set around what to be doing in the gym, what you need to eat, the frequency with which you would eat it, and the accountability and guidance piece that everybody needs in playing that game. There's skill sets you have to acquire to get what you want that you currently don't have. Now, the speed of acquisition of skill, this is up to you, because there's a number of different ways that you can go about acquiring skills. Some of them are faster and some of them are slower. Like on the slower end of things, it's learning it on your own or figuring it out on your own. This is what I used to do. I used to think I will figure this out on my own, and that was based on my story about my own intelligence. But intelligence is entirely different than wisdom. Wisdom is what catapults you forward. Intelligence is your ability to learn, not exactly what to learn. So you could try to figure it out on your own. That's one way. The second way you could do this is to go read a book or watch an online course, and you can figure out a skill that way. Now, what most people do when they get a book is they read about 20% of the book before they close it and move on to something else. We got very short attention spans in this society, the way that society comes at us all the time. So reading books really isn't the way to do it. If you bought a course online where it's just go watch the course, chances are you started out hot and then you just kind of faded off. Same way with the book. So that's not really a good way to acquire the skills either. Another way to acquire the skills is to find somebody who's ahead of you in whatever skill it is that you need to acquire and pay them to teach you how to do it. They've already solved this problem. Now it just becomes a matter of them showing you how to solve that exact problem. This is the way that I go about doing this now. I find people who are ahead of me where I want to go, and then I pay them to teach me how to do it. And that is the fastest way that you can acquire skills in terms of the preparation to get what it is that you say you want. The overall mindset around this, guys, has to be that you're constantly a student and that you know that there is a lot left to learn. The best case scenario, and I was having a call with somebody earlier today, the best case scenario for this is that in 6 months I will be embarrassed by what I'm doing right now, because my skill set has advanced so much faster based on the method by which I'm trying to acquire the skills, and I've already done the emotional preparation to transform into the next version of myself that has the skills that can produce the next level of results that I am looking for. So I know that I don't know it all already, but you've got to stay in the mindset that there is always something else to learn from every single person, that you've got an opportunity from which to learn. So here's what I want you guys to do with this. I told you guys earlier that you need to do something with this information if it's going to be any good to you. You can't just listen to this, hope you absorb it, and then walk away. You physically have to go do something. You have to think about something. You have to write about something. You may have to get on your feet and walk someplace to do something about this. But here's what I want you to do today. I want you to prepare for the version of you who must exist to get what you want. Who you are now isn't going to get the job done, because if it did, you'd already have it. So what's this preparation looks like? Well, I gave you both of those things. There's the emotional preparation. The emotional preparation is understanding and admitting that it is going to be hard for you to get what you want. It will be, no question about it. It's going to be difficult for you to get what you want. The next piece of it is to take a skill inventory. Figure out what skills you have that you're good at and what skills you need in order to get what you say you want. If you do those two things, you're going to be well on your way to acquiring what it is that you want. How you prepare is how you play. Oh, and of course, before you leave the channel, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon. But even more than that, if you know somebody that you feel like needed to hear this message today, hit the share icon below and make sure that they've got the opportunity to see this video too. That would mean the world to me if you would do that. Thanks a lot. I'll see you guys on the next video.